that son of a bitch off the field right now. Out. He's fired. He's fired!
Sensational.
Warning: the Federal Communications Commission has determined the following content to be emotionally harmful. Snowflakes should not view this content under any circumstances, even if supervised by a G.I. Joe, Navy SEALs, Army vet, or someone with good common sense. The views and opinions expressed, including the depictions of persons of color, corrupt politicians, white people with or without a tan, haters who have yet to brush their teeth typing angrily in the comment section with hot breath syndrome, do not reflect any official policy or position of the U.S. government. This program contains graphic language, dark comedy, unique intelligence, creativity, a high credit score, and high blood pressure when triggered. This program has also been accused of racism, violence, misogyny, mansogyny, feminism, MGTOWism, defacement of celebrities, and of course, being a bully. Welcome to Thought Crimes.
Welcome everyone. Welcome to Thought Crimes. This is your girl Sensei, and I'm here with...
You all know what time it is. This is your man, Prince Solomon in the building. Peace Solo. Hold on, y'all. My bad, y'all. I'm just adjusting my mic. So yes, we come in calmly, right, Sin?
Yeah, we coming in calmly because we got to walk this down nice and slow.
Absolutely on that one. So shouts out to everybody that decided to join us here in the chat too, by the way. Again, Prince Solomon, Sincere Ignorance, Sin, and Prince, y'all know what it is, Thought Crimes. As we continue on with our journey to tape, well, today's topic here is Charlemagne's Karmaic Descent, Blind Justice, and what was the rest of it, Sin?
And the Black Domino Effect.
The Black Domino Effect, the true Black Effect. Y'all know what it is, man. He was giving out them napkins.
Cease and desist.
He was giving out them napkin love notes.
What makes you think that you jabronis actually
come
have
on
the right to tell somebody what to say and what not to say?
Come on. So here we are. First and foremost, Sin and I would like to formally congratulate Jessica Reed and Choke No Joke for the unification of the belt. The unification of the belt.
It's beautiful. Star, Choke, Kwame Brown are all pushing the story out for Jessica, for justice for Jessica. And Jessica is speaking out herself.
There you go.
Her voice is being heard when it comes to this. And we put our previous stream on private because what was said was already done. We said we'll wait and see what the truth is, and the truth was revealed when you saw Jessica and Choke together. So at this point, you know, other people's commentary, whether it's Tasha K chirping and all this stuff, is out the way. Now we just purely focusing on justice for Jessica.
Yeah, it's like you standing at the front line with your groceries, and that payment didn't deposit in your bank. The cashier is looking at you like, yeah, I understand you said $230, but right now it don't mind. It doesn't matter at this point. So this is where we are. And shouts out to B More too. Been instrumental in the process too.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
That's right. We about to smoke that Charlemagne pack. And we got receipts too, because we're gonna walk this down slow. I think the first myth we're gonna get rid of is this somehow coming after the black man Charlemagne because he's doing good for the black community. We're gonna break down why people don't like Charlemagne and why it is justified. You can't hide behind I'm a black man, and we're gonna play why, because we're gonna showcase.
Don't hide behind my image,
right? Because
don't hide behind me.
We're gonna show how many times he tries to take other black men down. So that clip's gonna be coming soon.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go ahead and get into the matter at hand here. All right. The matter is this. First and foremost, we're going to break this down. A lot of people have been running around here, and to be honest with you, for the majority of the public that this information has come across their desk, they've simply been interested, and I have no problem with the interest, and I do not have any problems with inquisitive minds until you start chastising said victim, which is Jessica Reed. Shouts out to her, by the way. But we're going to go ahead and get into what we call the Breakfast Club Illuminati. Y'all heard it coined here on Thought Crimes. We talked about that. Right? So Charlemagne, as the title, at the first part of the title, definitely indicates in itself, Charlemagne's Karmaic Descent. And some people will say, well, what are y'all talking about, Karmaic Descent? Well, look, I'm going to be honest with you. I think victim stories should be made aware. I think they should be put out there. Shouts out to Ant Learn too, by the way. We appreciate you so much. Did you all see the interview with Mrs. Reed and her son with Kwame? Yeah, I believe the son was in the chat yesterday.
Yeah, we're going to play it today too, some of that from Kwame.
The reason why we're calling this Charlemagne's Karmaic Descent, and Charlemagne, you can keep all of your tissues, keep all of your napkins, we don't want any. Because again, all of this is by way of the spoken tongue, the power of the spoken word. I mean, what he does for a living, he speaks to the public. I'm sure there's some things going on with his throat chakra, in his particular makeup. He speaks to the world. He speaks to Black America, right? Good or bad, whatever the case may be. But you have used that microphone. You have used that microphone because a part of your soul seems to be very uncomfortable about the past. So what I mean about the power of the spoken word, Charlemagne, for the most part, has been speaking this ordeal into existence. When Ms. Jessica Reed came out by way of Choke No Joke, shouts out to him with that I personally felt it was a well put together documentary. I actually disagree with the context that it was low budget. I didn't think that was a funny criticism because the story in itself was effective. But when she came forward, you were conjuring this woman's soul to come forward. You was actually alchemizing and pulling her to you.
On academic,
yes,
the crack privilege book, you mentioned it. You just kept
going everywhere,
talking about it on podcasts and
you walk in the room, you see like a baby, it's just stains everywhere. It's like, damn, little nigga, you couldn't sit down in one space and eat. So Charlemagne has been speaking about this this phantom woman, as we know her as Ms. Jessica Reed. But there was always this hypothetical phantom scenario about some woman that, you know, his cousin did this to, or his cousin was accused of, and he took the blame to save his cousin's life. And, you know, it was all of this stuff. And then, it was this other situation where a lady passes out, a young lady passes out, and she wakes up and she says, well, who did what to me? He's like, man, I stepped off and I blocked everybody from doing it to you. I was the only one that did something to you. Well, I'm glad it was you. You know, you kept alchemizing this. And then here's the thing about it, and I'll leave this to the queens, Be More and Vesta. They have far more better knowledge in that space than I do, you know, and as well as Sin. Sin is really, she's astute in a lot of things as well. But here's the thing of you being a Cancer male. We know Cancer has to do with the family, whether it's inverted or upright for the most part.
Fourth house.
Yeah, absolutely. And then America is what you call a zodiacal Cancer too as well, right? July 4th is Cancer. You actually attacked another individual's family publicly. Yeah. And then it blew back on you. So let's put this forward. Black men, a lot of us talk about accountability. Black people, black women, we like to brag about accountability. But we have to understand Charlamagne has to take accountability. This is his doing. This is all on him. You put the pig on the table. Everybody else just got a fork.
Right.
That's all that happened, player. It's nobody. You don't have the enemy. Let me say this real quick, saying I'm gonna get about your way. Charlamagne, when he gave himself Donkey of the Day in that yellow Rugrat hoodie that he had on, he also said something passively. I thought that was interesting. He said, because I have enemies. I says, no, sir. The enemy is in the mirror. Both of them, the light and the dark one.
I'm looking at the man in the mirror.
Yes.
I'm asking him to change his ways.
Absolutely.
It's you, Playboy.
It's you. It's all you. You the one. Just like people can talk about Tupac, man, he kept speaking about death. Yo, man, he kept speaking about death. Come with me, Hail Mary. Yeah, man, I don't match Tupac. Charlamagne, homie, for the better of 10 years, 10 plus years, absolutely 12 at this standpoint, you have went on with Ms. Jessica Reed's story while her identity at the time remained anonymous. So before everybody gets into this Bill Cosby conspiracy, before we get into this Martin Luther King conspiracy, before we get into this TIP, I'm a black man trying to uplift my community through selling dope, conspiracy, let's talk about accountability. Dog, man, we really wouldn't have known nothing about this situation had you not kept yapping.
Yappity yap 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 yappy yappy do.
Okay.
To get into it too, Jessica, her family, the people who support her are very serious. We're gonna be playing Kwame Brown soon with shows. They will be going after and pursuing the men that were involved in the sexual assault of Jessica Reed that have never been charged. So the investigation is gonna go underway. And they're looking at all of their options when it comes to the justice for Jessica Reed. And for anybody who think this is a joke, meaning that, there's no way that Jessica Reed can get her justice, you're dead wrong. This is a time when karma is hitting people hardcore, and whatever you put into the universe is coming right back at you tenfold. So, one, we can't use the whole black man because Charlamagne has put other black men business out there, from Joe Budden to Mr. C to Funk Flex. And whether you feel those men are guilty of the actions that they have been accused of, the whole point is that you can't run around and say, I'm being attacked and this and that as a black man, when all you have done is spilt the tea on other black men and the charges that they face and the audacity. Think about this. The audacity for a knucklehead to go out there and talk shit and talk about other people open cases or past cases when you have this on your record. Playboy. It's like, how fucking stupid are you? And how arrogant are you to have this in your background, but to constantly open your mouth about other people's charges? I mean,
you big dummy.
It's fucking retarded. Yeah. It's like,
stop playing with my name.
It's astonishing.
I ain't gonna say it no more.
I mean, allegedly, you must have been giving some good head to somebody for you to be this super arrogant to to go out there and talk about other people's business with this in your background. Like, it's crazy.
Let me tell you something, man. And two, I want to give it up to the brothers, to everyday working black men that have been thrown under the bus by the likes of Charlemagne the God, that have been thrown under the bus by the likes of a T.I. You know, I can fuck your woman. My life's better than yours. Why do you even exist? Because the spirit, you know, all of these dead black men bodies y'all just been stepping over, and these black women y'all been stepping over. It was alchemized. It was risen through the likes of Kwame Brown and his hookah straw, right? And the reason why I say what I say is because, yes, sin is right. Man, I don't know. I'm going to keep it real with you. I don't know what type of juice somebody would have to be on. There are dudes that owe child support that they don't say nothing about money. Not to say I promote it, but there are women who know for damn sure they might be a little bit behind in the rent, and they try not to make no noise on the property until they can get their check.
They stay quiet. Shit, I missed 1 month of rent. Let me make sure I'm quiet. Let me
shut the fuck up.
Negotiate, you know, with the owners of the property.
Yeah, because like I just the hubris, the arrogance, the narcissism, you know. The fact that here's my other thing too about with Charlemagne. The fact that this can shake you when it shows up is the other part of it. Because there's some people where they have things floating around, it shows up, they're like, I don't care.
I don't care.
I don't care. Yeah, but the fact that we actually see your body language shift. The fact that we even see at times during subsequent breakfast interviews, you're not as in people's faces. You're actually kind of trying to remain invisible in the room. Excuse me. All I'm saying is this, is what in God's name, in Allah's name, the universe's name would possess
you to be like this,
for you to act like this.
It's like what Broken said, you know, you should have listened to that Kendrick song, Be Humble, Bitch, sit down.
Right. So here's the thing now. Jessica Reed, even though now there are some people that are kind of like trying to throw this in her face or her family's face, or people that do support the story of Jessica Reed. Well, what are you going to do? There's nothing you can do, really. I mean, case closed. Wrong. There were 2 other individuals
involved in her sexual assault that she can press charges against.
Right. It's just, look. For everybody else that are crying, you all have to put this on Charlemagne. This is all him. What did Drake say? All me. That's all me. That's all Charlie.
And I am glad that the narration of this Charlemagne thing is starting to change, because I do think a lot of dudes are saying, you know what? He was always talking about it. Yeah. He was also on top of that always throwing other black men under the bus. Why should I defend him? And you shouldn't, because he also said that most men rape, that most black men rape. That's what he said when he gave himself the first donkey of the day.
Yeah.
She's burning me to hold on to this.
He said all men were a part of rape culture. That's what Charlemagne said with his donkey of the day.
That's what Charlie Man said.
So, you know, and I always ask the chat every time I say that, men in the chat, is that true?
Yeah, I mean,
does Charlemagne speak for y'all?
Yeah, I mean, I clicked off that video quick. I said, matter of fact, when I clicked off and put on Media Man. I put on something else. That's okay. I get it. Marketing. That's what he said. Truthfully, because come on, a lot of things we did was rape. What? What are you smoking on? Are you smoking on that Kamala?
You smoking on that Biden?
You smoking on that Cam? That killer Cam? That killer Kamala? So, while everybody's crying, they say, oh, look what they're doing. They're coming after Charlie Man the Frog. Look, nobody is coming after him except justice is being rectified.
And his own energy.
That's his energy.
Because remember, when people have commentary and they're laid back, you know, people who have commentary about sports, you know, let's say someone said that person cheated on their wife it's usually no big blowback. You know, the person still get to eat because the energy they put out in the universe, they're not in people's business, or they're not like have that chaotic energy.
Right.
But when you Charlemagne, you talk about and Funk Flex beat his wife, and this person did this, and that person did that, and you got that aggressive energy where you trying to destroy other people, and you got this in your background. It's gonna come back tenfold to you. On top of the most egregious thing is allegedly violating a 15-year-old girl.
Who Boyce Watkins said she looked like she was older.
Boyce Watkins said she was 19.
You know I'm always come back and shoot at your fupa.
And also, just to let you know, I sent the email is sent for the clip, so you can download it when you get a chance. But yeah, the dude said, trying to defend Charlemagne like, she looked like she was 19. Just like we know the history of Black Americans, where we had white institutions try to say Black children were adults, where they even Serena Williams' father, he gave a white man some money, touched his hand, and back at that time they wasn't supposed to touch hands or whatever. And this adult male beat up a little Black boy. Or what we saw when, we had racists that would do things to little Black girls and try to say they're grown women. Fast forward to 2021, and we have a baked potato bitch saying a 15-year-old girl at the time looked like she was 19, and he's Black. What type of nonsense is that?
Yeah, absolutely. Boyce, you know better. Boyce, you know better. And I understand you was on the Breakfast Club and nobody knew what product you was promoting.
I didn't know what that nigga was selling when he was on there.
Let me tell you that I don't know what Boyce is selling.
Hey, I just want to say another thing.
Well, look, again, what we'll say is this. What Brian, shouts out to you, brother. He says, y'all got to watch Boyce Watkins live from this morning, shaking my head. I'm not watching anything.
No, we know.
I have had the extreme displeasure of shaking his very moist hands, very wet, and I had to go wash my hands because I didn't know what that particular biohazard situation was with his hands. But I'll say this: look, Charlemagne the God. This is very interesting. And be careful, folks, what you are naming yourself with these monikers, these avatars online, things of that nature. Think about what he says. If you know the history of Charlemagne. But he also he put something heavy on the end of it. Charlemagne the God. The God, what we know is God. Whether you're saying God or goddess, any form of divinity, we know it to be what sin? Creator.
Right.
Charlemagne created his reality for the good and the bad. He created his reality. And this is what it is. Now, maybe there's some sort of unconscious part of himself that needs to purge himself of this. I mean, he has a book, says Shook. He talks about anxiety, but he doesn't go into specifics. Is Jessica Reed a part of that anxiety?
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm just saying. But
Seemingly
be careful.
so.
Seemingly so. Be careful what you're naming yourself and what you're alchemizing out of your lips. Because you named yourself Charlemagne the God. And the whole time you was speaking things into reality. You kept speaking and speaking until this woman now has platforms.
Right. And
it's very important.
And she had it in her code anyway to take your ass down, whether you opened your big ass lips or not. As long as she fight, she will be victorious. And I will say this, and also, of course, based off of the knowledge and information B. Moore has shared. But I will also say, with the name Charlemagne, anyone knows the historical figure Charlemagne, he was able to bring the Franks, his people that were not of privilege, not of high society, and bring his people into high society, bring his people together, which was his ethnic group, the Franks in Europe, and united Europe and became powerful. Obviously, Charlemagne doesn't even have that in his blood, so he needs to stop. But where one can allege that he may have some similarities with the historical figure, he was a sexual deviant. And what I mean by that is people allege that historical figure was into necrophilia and some other stuff that I'm not saying Charlemagne, the current Charlemagne, is into. I don't know what he's into. These are just allegations, but I do know who he named himself after is quite interesting.
We don't have to beat around the bush. He has forecasted and exemplified sexually deviant, perverse behavior in jokes. Even though they haven't been funny, the whole P-cum ratio, which is disgusting for me even to talk about it pertaining to a little girl. And just the idea of it is, I'm sure there's grown adults there into that. It's just not my thing. But nonetheless, though, part of Charlemagne's moniker and his public persona early on was that he would go into sexual deviancy. He's looking for the wow factor, just like some of his idols. His idols that he feels are shock value masters, which included Petey Green, Howard Stern, and of course Starr as well, and then there were some other people in between. But nonetheless, Charlemagne the God, this is something that you called into existence by way of the spoken tongue. And then, of course, Jessica Reed has a lot of justice on her side, to be honest with you. She has a lot of justice, a lot of fight, and it's the perfect time. And as we said before several times, they said, well, it's not going to go away. It may die down. It may look like something, but Charlemagne has this weird OCD, almost like this weird guilt fetish type of thing, guilt BDSM thing that he used to have, where he just talk about it, even to the point his co-host Andrew Schultz said, dude, that's rape.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So
he was also co-signing it too. Prince, like, he had a whole team of people. Andrew Schultz is pathetic. Yeah, he had good content and hooking up with Joe Rogan. That's all sweet and dandy. But, he has created a space for Charlemagne to be a deviant. And so has, with his comments, what we know to be public record. And so have Tamika Mallory, Angela Rye. Oh, yeah. Angela Yee did stop him when he was being inappropriate with children who came on the show, but she still backed him.
You sold yourself.
Right.
On in the fire too.
She still backed him.
Yeah.
Then you have DJ Envy and just so on and so forth. Even The Hill, who did an expose on Jeffrey Epstein. So you could do an expose on Jeffrey Epstein, but not Crystal Ball, my friend, Charlie Man, you're not doing anything on, so hypocrisy. And I'm calling her out because I need to call out all these spaces. I can't just leave it only in the black space. I got to go over there to the other spaces of people who I feel are being hypocritical as well.
Well, yeah, and also the reason why it's very interesting. This is how abrupt some of his stories pertaining to this the sexual assault incidents that kept floating around on this podcast, The Brilliant Idiots. It was so out of place. Like I said, even someone who I consider not all that impressive and in some regards very boring and childish. Andrew Schultz, his co-host, did look at him and say, like, he was trying to laugh it off, but clearly the room understood what it was. And this is how self-deprecating also Charlemagne is for himself too. Couldn't even read the room and see that, you know what this story is? This is a pretty wild story that I keep telling over and over and over. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get into
the clips.
The clips.
Bang bang.
Bang.
About to get into these bullets.
The clips. No, for real. Let's go.
Fetus miscarried in the toilet.
That's what she sent it to me as.
Okay.
Now she's saying that you beat her, you strangled her, and you sat on her stomach and caused her to lose her baby.
Look at Charlemagne.
We actually had that
for
audio.
a half hour.
Hold on, we have the audio.
We got into an argument.
Charlemagne confident.
And just basically ended up choking me. So I couldn't breathe, slamming me up against the door, like in the closet doors.
Now your wife, the mother of your kids, has an order of protection against you. And this isn't the first time he's been arrested for hitting a woman. He got arrested for hitting Steph Lover, as Angeline just said, back in 2000. He got arrested last year for beating a woman. That woman turned out to be his wife.
Wow, his wife, Scrangle.
And he's talking like he is for justice.
Scrangle? He's talking like he is for Jessica. Scrangle? Poof. Come on, man. Let's go.
Donkey of the day for Monday, May 6th. It is May 6th, right?
Yes.
Goes to Calvin LeBrun.
You say people's government name?
AKA the Nasty African.
Wow.
AKA DJ Mr. C. If you haven't heard, according to the New York Daily News, he was arrested this weekend for trying to pick up a male prostitute again. Back in 2011, he pled guilty to the same offense when cops caught him receiving oral sex from a young man in a parked car.
I think like the thing is like a lot of we're programmed to really be hypersensitive to black male oppression. It's just prevalent in all media, and when you see niggas getting beat up by the police, it's men. Like that's like a scene that you see. Like slavery for a lot of people, they envision men in chains. Like, but black women are, you know, exponentially a higher oppressed and violated group of people. Like just in comparison to the whole world. You know?
And usually, y'all know here on Thought Crimes, you know, we've had our jokes about Chance the Rapper. I did enjoy his acid coloring book joint, you know, but I actually fucked with him on this particular commentary. And one thing I didn't like online, which the Breakfast Club is a gasoline for that type of culture, when he came to this moment of clarity for himself, and he was on a platform highlighted his own hypocrisy, is how he felt just by nature that just black men were oppressed, and didn't see that, as he put it, exponentially black women are higher or oppressed at a higher rate than that of black men. He got cooked. But this is how you do it, though. This is real. This wasn't Chance to say, yeah, man, because the shit I did was rape. All men rape.
Right,
This is the difference. This is natural versus what Charlamagne was doing when he was reaching in too far. But go ahead, Sin.
I don't know, play. Let's keep going.
You know, maybe I didn't care because I didn't value the accusers' stories, like because they were black women.
And now hashtag surviving R. Kelly. Which Charlamagne the God himself has attempted to celebrate those movements publicly, especially on the Breakfast Club platform. But what some listeners of the Breakfast Club find a bit interesting is the fact that they've basically gone virtually silent on the issue of the Jessica Reed story and the accusations of rape against Charlamagne the God. Given the fact that the platform itself has discussed pretty much every aspect of everybody else's life, fans find it quite interesting that the Breakfast Club remains silent. And even when addressing the Surviving R. Kelly docuseries, Charlamagne the God was notably absent that day when the Breakfast Club was accepting calls and discussing the Surviving R. Kelly docuseries. Could it be that many of the handlers that have been observing what has been taking place on social media have been paying attention to the fact that Black Twitter, specifically Black women, have been critical of the fact that Charlamagne the God was featured in a docuseries about Surviving R. Kelly and the rape victims of R. Kelly, given the fact that Charlamagne the God has a possible rape victim accusing him of doing the same thing. And there was actually a few black women on Twitter who actually addressed the producer of the docuseries Surviving R. Kelly, Dream Hampton. Dream Hampton simply responded that she was unaware of the accusations against Charlamagne the God and regrets placing him in the docuseries, which only gives...
Now
That's
pause.
very important.
Listen to that, Sid.
And people skipped over that.
Like they skipped over everything else the first time around.
Dream
Hampton.
Go ahead, Prince.
No. Go ahead.
I'm saying the Dream Hampton, the black woman that shot the killing shot to R. Kelly, said, I regret having Charlamagne in the docu. I did not know he had this history.
That went under the radar, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
That went completely under the radar. And what is ironic about all of this is that you have people now, because of Kwame Brown, and I have no problem with what Kwame, the higher this story can go, the higher it can also show some form of justice within this inverted culture that we call the culture, right? But yes, when this came out, yes, Dream Hampton spoke about that.
You want to read it, Prince, or you want me to read it?
You can go ahead, you can get it, right?
Yeah,
you got it.
He was asked because he's been so clear and vocal with his criticism and condemnation of R. Kelly. He was interviewed before the story about him broke. I tweeted an apology a few minutes ago, and this when the 2019, explaining I didn't see his old tweets until I was tagged with them tonight.
Now
that was January 5th, 2019. Go ahead.
No, great job, Sam. Great job. Look, this is what I was just gonna say. Now here you had a lot of guys, and you had no. Let me take that back, because when it comes to R. Kelly, the hypocrisy is unisex. It's pretty much unisex. So you had a lot of people just digging into Dream Hampton's chest, like, yeah, fuck your documentary.
There was a lot of guys even in that alternative media that was attacking this woman for getting pervert in our community out of the way.
And she said, look, I understand, because there were a lot of dudes that came out and it was like, well, Dream Hampton did this, Dream Hampton did that. But look what she said about Charlamagne that nobody addressed. Even the ones that claim that they're champion for victims of sexual assault and violent, rape scenarios, right? Rape in general, right? And nobody talked about that. And that one of her, and Senator, we talked about it. We thought it was odd, but whatever.
Validation to the concerns and criticism of many of the black women who had watched Surviving R. Kelly. So in an eager attempt to further the rebranding of himself, Charlamagne the God jumped a bit too early, prematurely, and placed himself in the docuseries of Surviving R. Kelly, and allowing himself to become an open target. Rather than being seen as a champion for rape victims, he actually had been seen as quite the opposite, someone of similar disgusting energy among the likes of R. Kelly, simply because of Charlamagne's history. Again, the rebranding of Charlamagne is very important, which is very key for his survival in the industry. Because of many of the atrocious things he has said publicly, and also outlandish acts, particularly towards women, especially towards black women, Charlamagne, as they say in the Twitter streets, had already been on the radar. In his attempt to secure the bag in black girl magic space, Charlamagne may have shot himself in the foot. Now, old damaging tweets are resurfacing, showing that Charlamagne was very much so in support of the R. Kelly tapes. In fact, he referenced teen vagina as some sort of fountain of youth for R. Kelly, and because of the iffy industry of radio, Hot 97 and Power 105 have been locked in a heated competition for quite some time. But given the fact that a variety of personalities has been seen as more likable by way of the Breakfast Club, it is very important for them to try to hold on to Charlamagne the God, which is why protection has been forecasted for Charlamagne, with certain key topics specifically hovering around the discussion of rape. Charlamagne is notably missing. DJ Envy and Angela Yee do not necessarily have the personality to carry on the show if the likes of Charlamagne the God was to fall, which is why you see the industry shaking things up and trying to move him around for protection. One could even say maybe that's why he appeared in the Surviving R. Kelly.
And before we continue this, I want to address a comment that goes into protection. It's Fig says, what is your goal for justice? Getting him fired, never to work again in the industry, with no way to support his family on drop charges. Dark Crime's form of justice is getting the truth out there, and for the truth to be spoken freely. What the victim of the accused perpetrator, what justice is for Jessica is whatever Jessica is doing right now to acquire that justice, like going after the two men that allegedly assaulted her, that charges was not brought on. So like you caping. Charlamagne didn't care about fucking black families when he was knocking other niggas down or accusing Lakeith of the sexual assault charge or other black man. So I don't want to hear that shit. Now, if this was a hunky-dory mind my own business nigga, maybe you can cry about that. But he's destroyed other families. So whatever happens to his family, that's the karma he created. Not Dark Crimes, not whatever media personality talks about him. He created that karma for himself. We didn't make this shit for him. He made this bed. So don't put that on us.
I don't care what you put on us. It don't stop what's about to happen though. And I'm not trying to be funny. It's kind of like it's kind of like when your mama got that belt when she coming after your brother, and some of y'all might get away talking about don't hit my little brother, don't hit my little sister. It don't matter. The ass whooping is still coming by some way, shape, or form. So to be honest with you, we're gonna play these video clips. We're gonna talk our shit like we do. We talk our shit just like he talk his shit, but better.
Right.
So I want to say that again. We gonna talk our shit just like he talk his shit. And y'all let him go ahead and get away with all them PP jokes, them doo-doo jokes, them rape jokes. Y'all let him get away with all of that. And some of y'all claim to be Christians. Some of y'all claim to be sitting up there and, well, I can't use Eddie Long because he's dead with the controversy on his name. But y'all love to be in there with T.D. Jakes. T.D. Jakes is one of his self-appointed pastors.
Right.
So I don't play it. Nigga, I don't care. I respect that you here. I like that you're here, and we love all of the counter energy. But at the end of the day, dog, I don't give a fuck what you think about what we say about this nigga.
And the last thing I'll say before Prince press play, stop putting things on other people because of somebody else's actions. Who gives a fuck what we say? We did not sexually assault anybody, so don't put what Charlamagne allegedly did on us. That's his fault. Whatever he did, he's getting the blowback because of his own actions. Like, stop with that shit. It's like if somebody slammed a cup in a grocery store on the ground, and then because someone says, "Yo, why did you break that cup?" Ooh, you shouldn't be talking about why did that person break that cup. Like, come on, get it, stop it.
Yeah,
it's just Charlamagne's own actions.
Absolutely. I mean, it's because you like the Breakfast Club, player. Hey, that's it. That is what it is. You got your emotions mixed up with Celebrity King. And that's been the problem so far. But we're going to talk our shit just like he talk his shit. The only difference is his is sticking to the wall. That's what's happening with him. And he talks shit against himself. So, again, nobody would have known nothing about this situation. And here's the irony. You have one dude from South Carolina that is through affidavits and taking a plea deal has been seen as the violator and has acted and perpetrated himself as the violator and publicly violated the person again on said airways approved by the FCC. Then you have another brother coming from South Carolina correcting the wrong, at the very least is being the opposite end of the spectrum. Charlamagne claims to be himself a spiritual man, a mystical man, but I just swear, you're about one of the dumbest mystics I done seen. You name yourself Charlamagne the God, and you choose to speak under that title. And you're alchemizing all of the stuff that's taking place right now. And the problem is you have people, they don't understand that. So they're saying, why is everyone else doing it? And they don't understand he's Cheddar Bob. He pulled the gun out, he shot his own dick off. That's what he is. So please spare us. So we're gonna talk our shit just like y'all let him talk his shit. Let's proceed.
Docuseries and attempting to appear non-threatening, especially to black women, giving Charlamagne's notably chaotic history with his mouth and his actions in the space of black women. What is also equally interesting is some of his known associates, such as Angela Rye and also Amanda Seales, both vocal wominists who have stated on record they highly oppose a rape culture, misogyny, misogynoir, and any form of abuse against women and little girls, especially black women and black girls, and giving the history that is now resurfacing, whatnot with the likes of Jessica Reed, and also the troubling tweets praising R. Kelly's performance, and also video footage resurfacing from his Brilliant Idiots podcast showing Charlamagne the God praising allegedly R. Kelly on those films, raping and assaulting young black girls.
Number one, he taught me how to eat ass. Shout out to Kelly. I learned how to eat ass because of the R. Kelly tape.
That's true.
And the come P come thing is still one of the most
legendary,
incredible things I've ever seen in my life. I still don't understand how a man could come and then pee right after coming and then come again. That happened.
Wait, that happened?
He busted a nut on this little 14-year-old girl. Then he peed on me like it was like the sperm came out, pee came out, sperm came out again. And he's told her, let it drip.
Liquid sandwich, bro.
And then Andrew Schultz joined in on it, even though he said 14-year-old girl. Some of his comedian friends have been called out for being pesters as well and have gotten caught. But I'm focusing on Charlamagne real quick. They were glorifying child pornography. They were in ecstasy of child pornography.
Y'all let him talk that shit though.
He talked his shit, didn't
Y'all
he?
let him talk his shit, don't you? Thought Crimes, don't you say nothing.
What you think about that, Figs?
P Solo is saying, why are you saying anything? Let him get it off. Stop.
Saw Andrew Schultz and he ate the liquid sandwich.
Why do y'all want? But you know what's interesting? And this is very important. This is true. And, you know, we've said this at the beginning. It does show the value of where you do place black women within this bullshit we call the culture. It is bullshit. And anybody that's, you know, listen to, you know, Sin, you know, before Thought Crimes, you know she ain't been for the bullshit culture. And if y'all listen to me before Thought Crimes, y'all know how I always felt. I was always getting into with other nigga male YouTubers about some dumb shit, what they said out of their mouth about Sandra Bland and all this other shit. So here's the value of it. So here you have Charlemagne up there. The P-cum ratio. Motherfucker got like, he got fractions about it. He got decimals. Everything he's straight. It's something nasty. He's in the space of nasty.
And there's more in that video too that we're gonna showcase a little bit later. But yeah, go ahead, Prince, break it down.
And y'all let him get that off.
Y'all let him say it.
Y'all let him say it.
And I'm not talking about our people in the chat.
But I'm just saying, a lot of people let him say it.
A lot of people who watch the show.
I saw T.I. A Young Thug got his own shit going on, but this tells you how backwards this Breakfast Club Illuminati niggas space is. Young Thug was going off about weird shit going on in the industry, and T.I. told him, hey man, we don't want to do that now. I'm telling you, you're going to be hard for your career after that. But Charlamagne up here talking about babies that are being sexually assaulted on camera. And then you want to ask us, what do we want? Well, I don't want to hear that nigga on public airwaves. It's different as a YouTube channel I can click off, but he's on public airwaves through Clear Channel saying this shit. So no, I don't prefer to hear it. But again, y'all let him get his shit off. Y'all let him get his bullshit off. And this is the interesting part about this culture. I heard more niggas so fucking eager to say that Drake don't write his rhymes. Drake don't write his rhymes. And they have debates about it. And here you have a woman, Jessica Reed. Hey, this dude, this is what he did to me. Ah man, let's not talk about that. Some go down in rap music and hip hop concerning other niggas. Go to Clubhouse. The fucking black lips are talking.
Right.
Chat rooms 2,000.
Right.
You can't even get them to get 1,000 niggas, 2,000 niggas in there about Charlie Man and Jessica Reed.
And I forgive you, Fig, because some people didn't hear this. You know, so some people coming in with not knowing everything that's going on. Yeah. So I understand now. You see what we talking about.
Come on, Shawty.
Thank you.
I mean, he talk bullshit.
We also got a donation, Prince.
Oh, so Black Bomb, we appreciate you. Says here, another subject that infuriated me is how some folks in Kwame's chat kept harassing the mother or hassling the mother. I apologize for not asking for his age and for letting Jessica go. Oh, you mean blaming the victims? Oh, victim blaming. That's what it's called.
Right.
Suddenly, they earned Juris Doctorate degrees. We appreciate you so much. Thank you.
I saw the check.
And here where y'all messed up. Is an older woman in the home and a teenage girl. This is where y'all messed up. Allegedly, Jessica knew another boy around her age that she was allegedly friends with. That's why the mother felt comfortable with Charlamagne picking the daughter up to go to the party that he alleged was supposed to be with. He's chaperoning kids. So people don't know the context, and then they jumping down this woman's neck, trying to say all these different things. You don't even know the context of the story. The thing that the mother made a mistake on was about not going to pursue charges out of fear of traumatizing her daughter
even more.
And she already has said she felt she made a mistake on that. Why do we keep talking about it instead of actually talking about the fact that that guy took advantage of a single mother and took advantage of a situation and acted like he was going to chaperone a young girl, but he really was up to something nefarious?
Well, what I do definitely encourage the Reed family. Shouts out to them, by the way. I definitely encouraged them to pursue further charges on any type of level with the other two assailants. And what I have come to find out, and as I have been educated, Cindy and we've been educated. Oh man, Thought Crimes has been as much of an education for us as it is for some of you all that email us, that say, hey guys, you know, you all put us onto different things. We didn't know this. I love when Sin goes down this road. I love when Prince go down that road, this, that, and third. I don't know, but you all have to understand, for us, this has been a long, educated process for us. We were educated during the R. Kelly situation, even when, you know, information was presented out there, and we said, okay, even with the Charlemagne thing, we just said, well, whatever, right? So we do understand that all of this culture talk is bullshit. All of the culture talk, if anything in itself, is actually the textbook definition of anything that Carol Quigley talked about. It's anything that even Aldous Huxley nutted over. All right? It's anything that George Orwell talked about, Orwellian, Newspeak, Thought Crimes. So the culture is that specifically. I mean, think about this, you all. This is Charlemagne is the definition of not only hypocrisy, but he's definition of doublespeak. Here you have someone that says, I'm an ally to black women. Meanwhile, antagonizing damn near every black woman that has come through that show. From 2010 until he started tapering off about a couple years ago. But that's because the Jessica Reed story popped up on everybody's radar. See, people right now, there are a lot of people coming into the Breakfast Club with this new TD Jakes Charlemagne. You know, the one where TD Jakes is laying his fat palms on Charlemagne's head.
You all flesh!
This young man donate to the church, right? So a lot of people are coming into that space and they're saying, what's wrong with him? Like, you know, and we get it. There are some folks that they don't really be on the internet like that, and the most shock value that they get is on the Breakfast Club, right? But you got to understand, Charlemagne has been more of a tamed wolf because choke no joke, because when everybody had a chance to hear Jessica Reed star, by the way,
who broke the story,
and it was picked up by Choke, and Jessica was able to move forward, and the little stuff that we did on our end, and other people. Lovely T, shouts out to Lovely T, she kept the story burning too. Charlemagne understood, and he was reading the room, and he slowed down, but he still was nervous though. Still was nervous because he jumped into the Surviving R. Kelly documentary. And people said, wait a minute, what's going on here? Dream Hampton had to denounce it. But Dream Hampton, she can't come up to the Breakfast Club anymore. Not that she wants to. But when Kwame Brown says to go along, get along, gang, that's called the industry. And
shout out to Kwame Brown for resuscitating and supporting the Reed's family. But do we have more video that will showcase Prince?
No, baby, that was it.
Oh, okay, that was it.
The last liquid sandwich, which was some of the most disgusting things I've heard.
It was really gross.
And so the point is, though, like we said, this is all Charlemagne the God energy. If anything, Charlemagne was his own assassin.
Yes, he was.
And please,
don't touch children.
Yeah, please, let you all understand something really quick. Don't ever think in your mind that any type of ass is that good in the industry enough that they're really gonna hold on to your ass if the crowd and the mob gets angry. You have Fortune 500 companies that are worth billions that change their names all the time when the crowd and the mob gets angry. Oh shit, we changing. H&M, oops, sorry for the gorilla monkey baby. Oops, you see it all the time. Dove, folding it. Oh, we're sorry. Okay, we're sorry, please. There are a lot of people, look, even somebody brought up the point, they said, well, why is it not trending on Twitter? Because you all
trying to keep that black effect.
Try to keep
and the
it.
fact, come on, that's all the smoke.
Yeah.
That's a lot of companies and money attached to it. It's just because of money. It's because
iHeart is in need.
Yeah, iHeart was in bankruptcy in 2018.
Right.
They looking at their pockets. They trying to refill it. It's really, think about it. if Charlamagne go down, that's a hardcore reset. Like for people who know sports, it's soft reset, hardcore reset. Yep. Soft reset, change a few pieces, but mostly the structure stays the same because you have confidence in it. Kind of like how in the 76ers, they still have faith with Embiid and with Simmons together, right? So they just have done soft resets. A hardcore reset is when the whole damn team is being traded out. The staff, GM, different things like that. So that's the type of thing they would have to do if they get rid of Charlamagne.
And nobody's over there.
They have to do a hardcore reset.
Yeah, look, as also great point, Sin, and also to add on, Ms. Gotcha down in the chat, she says also revolt. Come on, y'all. Can y'all let's talk about it. Can we talk about it, folks? Can we talk about it right now? Do you all understand? Literally, there is nothing going on in that space. Why did you think Kwame Brown got so much attention? Because attention wasn't being held elsewhere. Not that his story doesn't matter. He is a charismatic brother. I think he's very funny. Shouts out to the South. But there's nothing going on in that space, you all. J. Cole album came and went. Lil Loaded died, came and went. People making music, it comes and goes. Movies dropping, comes and goes. There is literally not much attention being held in that traditional market. Charlamagne, you have to understand, he represents the horn on an injured unicorn.
Yeah, our heart is they call it a lame duck. Lame duck, they don't know what to do. So their thing is, let's make sure it stays contained and hopefully it smothers out. It's kind of like when you try to contain a fire, forest fire.
I thought you was about to say a fart.
No, a forest fire, and you're trying to make sure that it doesn't go beyond a certain boundary. They want to make sure it doesn't go beyond Kwame, Chokestar, Thought Crimes. Yeah, a lot of people are seeing it. It's reaching a lot of ears, but let's keep it contained. You did have Funk Flex say something for a moment and Ebro, but nobody else in the industry has really been talking about it, and they want to try to make it stay that way. But if Jessica Reeves continues to fight, she will be victorious, and we know this because B More had talked about it and we saw some things. So she just has to keep fighting. And also, Prince, we have a donation.
Okay, now David, shouts out to you. Appreciate you so much. I saw the check, nigga. He says here, since news broke, the audacity to name the last CPL episodes of Brilliant Idiots, everybody gets a turn, and the sweet invisible taking subliminal shots. Oh yeah, because and David, I apologize if I have misread or butchered up your donation like Magic Johnson does. But thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. But what you bring up is very true and effective. Let me tell you why. Joe Budden right now is one of his arteries were carotid recently, which was Charlamagne. Let's call it ace, a spade. Also, get the likes up too, by the way. We appreciate everybody that's in here. But if you want to continue to see our material when we go live, even if you don't have the notification bell, or if you do have it, sometimes you don't get a chance to see it, but we show up in your algorithm at the time. So please, everybody, lift every like and sing. Just please get the likes up.
Right. And
thank you very much.
Because we will be on Patreon soon with Vesta and
Be More.
Vesta and Be More be spitting them facts.
Hot die line.
Also, we may get Tabby on too if she decides to join as well.
Bring that Scorpio in. Yes.
Remember, Tabby's Vanity. Tabby's Vanity. Use TC 500 if you want to get a discount. But she has amazing products like butter glosses, brownie batter, sugar scrub. And she makes it from scratch. She's a black woman, black family, and her products are amazing. We even have some, Prince had to you know, do the butter bombs for his beard. You know, keep it nice and fresh.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah. Thank you so much.
He also tans with some of them too.
Okay, Sam.
All right.
That's beautiful. I love you. Do. So look, you all. Okay, Joe Budden, and we understand Joe Budden. We know what you'll do. You're one of the shadow listeners, but it's cool. But anyway, so Joe Budden had an artery that was leaking that was cauterized for him. Think about it. You know, even though he says, I do agree with Joey, he has his own problems, but I'm talking about in the context of the profession, right? He does say, okay, he's against the establishment, right? True. Okay. All right, fine. He said he's against people that don't like him in boardrooms, which has been a pretty much a narrative throughout his career. And he says Charlemagne is not a concern for him. That's Joey being cordial because Charlemagne is a concern. And Charlemagne has, as Tasha K has said, she said before that Charlemagne has told people to not mess with her. To the point where now it's flipped where she has been shouted out by Charlemagne on said Breakfast Club. The very same establishment that people with her type of platforms and Kwame Brown platforms and our material pretty much have either threatened or is in the mood of slowing the energy down for the most part, right? So that side for Joe Budden was cauterized, right? Nobody, for the most part, was really expecting too much out of Joe Budden. Now he's kind of just cleaning up the little cuts he got going on with Rory and Maul, and he's going around trying to, you know, just, no, we're cool, we're fine. And he's going to different podcasts.
And he fucked up on that.
Yeah, got Cat Williams.
Joe messed up on that, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you know, but don't they all though, Sam? Don't they normally all, like, we've heard them on Clubhouse. We've heard them so much try to be, and this is good for you niggas. Because you niggas have been so much trying to be lock in step within the narrative of an industry.
We don't do that with our people. It's like, you know, you see Taurus Rising, Vesta and B1, they're going to be doing their own thing, but you know, Joe Budden could have did a skit as if he was firing them, and that could have led to their skit if they're looking for employment, and they could have had their own podcast, and they could have had like a little network together. Stop devaluing your assets, and then on top of them not only being assets for you, they actually have great ideas, and I like that arrogance. It's like, okay, Joey, you're not in a space where you're gonna get shot up like Charlemagne will when he gets the sword of justice into his body, but you still shouldn't be doing shady and sloppy shit like that either.
Well, that's what you call the industry politics. And if you're in showbiz, you have to have a bit of bullshit in you. You have to have bullshit in your blood. I know folks, you know, some of your favorite rappers, it could be a J. Cole, it could be a Kendrick, it could be a Jay-Z, it could be anybody. It could be a Sierra, it could be anybody. Hey man, you think we can do? We knew somebody. They said, man, Future walked right up to them in the studio. They said, yeah, man, Future. Okay, so he's talking about doing the movie. He said, bro, walked right off. Like he said, we sat down for like 2 or 3 hours. And he said, Future just got up and walked off. Sounds like the daddy that he is. That's another story. But yeah, Joe Budden got lucky, as he has normally done.
It's in his code to get lucky.
Yeah, it's in his code. Now, the reason why Charlemagne is getting cooked is because Charlemagne chose to go to the higher mountain. He's chosen to, he did a lot of, whether people want to admit it or not, a bulk of Charlemagne's career is based on humiliation rituals of himself.
And others. He tried to humiliate. Yeah, go ahead, Prince.
No, I was just saying, so when you see him, like Sin said, when he gets to the point where he's humiliating others, it's through the humiliation of himself first. So I'm so roachy, I'm so dusty, I'm so nasty. There's nothing you can say to me because I've already projected myself as such a low-tier miscreant.
Yeah, he's doing that Eminem thing, like, what else can you say about me? But see, that only works if you don't have children in the closet. See, like, yeah, if you speak your truth and you get it out there for other people, yeah, I'm this, yeah, I'm that, yeah, it works. Hey, guys, I'm coming out of the closet. So people say, oh, I'm gay. You know, and it works out for them. That's good. But you know in what area it doesn't work out for you? In the area that Charlamagne was speaking his truth when he talking about drugging and Spanish fly and all that. Nope, that don't work.
Absolutely. I mean, this is honestly the truth, and we're just being real with you all. Like, it's not so much that, okay, like there's some sort of secret conglomerate, like they're just, like Charlamagne is so valuable. Like, he's just, I mean, within his scrotum is the seeds of Emotep. No. You all, sweeties. iHeart needs that nigga. They need the Breakfast Club. That's about the only thing that's why did you think they had a 50-50 joint venture with his podcast network? Right? They understand that black podcasters, black voices have always been affected, but through the technology, it's just been on some steroid shit. Right? Which is one of the reasons why all the smoke podcasts, right? You saw what happened there. And when Charlamagne spoke as their pretty much boss and says, no, Matt Barnes is a good friend of mine, Steve Jackson is a good friend of mine, and Kwame Brown's whole family is crazy, yada, yada, yada. He didn't expect the backlash. But iHeart, they are in a lame duck scenario. What do you do with this situation? Your company's already in debt. You've put so much money here. You don't have other personalities to really move it around, or you don't feel confident enough to do so. I tend to disagree. I don't think Charlamagne is all that charismatic, my personal opinion. I think he's very replaceable.
Yeah, I think he's easily replaceable.
I think all of them are replaceable.
But the problem is, though, he could be replaceable talent-wise, but who's going to do what he's done behind the scenes, allegedly, to push certain things through? That's the thing that's going to be difficult for them.
Oh, baby, they always got a new hoe on the block.
Oh, yeah.
They always get a new hoe.
But it's like, you got to have the right one, though.
Yeah.
It's true. You can't have nobody who changed their mind after a couple of years or whatever. Like, Charlamagne was going to go is all the way in, as we talked about before. So you got to start from scratch and figure it out and all that other stuff. But I also want to say, just to bring up Tasha K real quick, you know, and Choke and Jessica and all the other people being vindicated, you know, I just want to make it clear that Tasha K had said the insults to Choke first. All Choke said is that you allowed a man on your platform to speak lies and say that Jessica Reed was lying, and you never gave her the opportunity to have an equal voice to this phantom Negro that was on your show that was throwing salt at Jessica Reed. And then, just because he said he just lost some respect for her, he was respectful about it, but he said, you know, I lost some respect. Then she comes out and she calling him gay and bi and
talking about his film.
When have we seen you with a woman? Like, all this irrelevant stuff that have nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, we don't really watch Choke like that to see, yo, is Choke with a woman?
Not everybody puts their personal business out there. Number one, if he was gay, it shouldn't matter. And number two, what that has to do, it has nothing to do with Jessica Reed. And then even alleging Choke of sexually taking advantage of Jessica Reed was pretty disturbing.
I was like, wow.
It's pretty disturbing.
You gotta stay in that. You gotta go over and stay in that love and hip hop shit.
I saw the check, nigga.
Tasha, if you're not gonna help with the Jessica thing, just
stay in love and hip hop, shouty.
Yeah, let's just not muddy it up.
Yeah, Jeray, we appreciate you. Says Thought Crime, speak your truth. Well, no, y'all speak y'all, man. Let Jessica speak hers too. David says Donnell Rollins was on the Breakfast Club a few days ago addressing being disrespected. Hold on here. Addressing being disrespected on past shows, and Charlamagne lied with a straight face saying it never happened. I saw that. But again, that's Donnell Rollins if he wants to go in there. I know that's a part of his shtick, but I did see where Donnell Rollins is genuinely irritated with Charlamagne. You know what I'm saying? It's like we got Charlamagne enjoys having frenemy relationships with certain types of guys, right? So it's kind of like, well, actually, that's kind of his disposition with people in general. But I just noticed it with Joe Budden, and then of course Donnell Rollins, and it usually kind of blows up in people's face because Charlamagne is sensitive too, though, folks. My thing is this: somebody brought up a great example. Charlamagne has tried to see himself in the light of Tom Joyner. I don't think his career will be able to reach that level. And then that of Russ Parr. I don't think that would happen for him either as far as longevity is concerned, because he has this other thing on him. Tom Joyner didn't have a situation like this following him around. Russ Parr didn't have this following him around. We can even get to Ryan Cameron in the morning in Atlanta. Shouts out to Atlanta. They don't have these things on them. So for a lot of you people that are fans of the traditional black voice jockey, black radio, I'm sorry to tell you all, none of those men or women had this type of case following them around, and nor did they parade it in the public's face if they even did have something happen to them or they've done something in the past.
Correct.
Charlemagne has had it on him, and he has celebrated it in people's faces like he was on the end zone. So please, that's what I said, Kim, y'all stop being sensitive. Not everybody in chat, we know a lot of you all, but there are some people that they fall out the closet like dirty coats and they start crying while y'all say, hey, ladies and gentlemen, this man is not like those other people that I've mentioned. No, it's not the same thing. Completely different spaces. You want to be like Steve Harvey? Steve Harvey doesn't have a rape case following him around, and Steve Harvey has not been in people's faces bragging about getting away with said rape case.
Also, we're about to go into Mama's Cooking, a little bit of the interview with Jessica Reed's family, and we also have the link in the description box for people to see the full interview of Jessica family that was on Kwame Brown's platform. Also, we have one more donation before you want to say before or after Mama's Cooking.
Yes. Also, Jeray W says here, Tasha probably wish she could do that over, like Sin said about Joey and being less reactive. But we're all human, right? Fallible. Absolutely. That's very important. We're going to switch over to the Kwame Brown and Jessica Reed family, the Reed family, with the mother and brother. But yes, the fallibility of humans is traditional. It is concurrent, reoccurring, and it is a part of our lives. We make mistakes, but we must acknowledge our mistakes, take responsibility for the actions that we've done, and accept the consequences, whether we're comfortable with those consequences or not. And this is a consequence for Charlemagne for speaking for 10 plus years about this situation. Let's go ahead and get into it here. That's all right. We're going to go over to Mr. Kwame Brown. Let's give it up to the brother, all right? All right.
Charlemagne the guy, but I think some things that are being put out in the media may not necessarily be true. So we're going to let, the mother and the brother speak about what's actually the facts. So go ahead. And thank you guys personally for coming. And I know everybody's excited to hear from you.
Thank you for allowing us to be on, man.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah. Hi, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jonathan. I am Reed's mother. First, I want to thank Mr. Brown for having us on his platform. I want to thank all of the supporters and the YouTubers, star and family friends, everyone.
Survivors of sexual abuse by clergy
Wow.
suffered in secrecy and shame,
Look at that ad.
fearing that no one would believe
I'm gonna
them
let the ad play
and
out for
coerced into silence. It's time to hold the Catholic bishops in New York accountable for the choices they have made to protect offenders. It's time for survivors to take their power back. But time is running out. Survivors have until August 13th to file a claim. Call confidentially today.
All right.
Well, file that claim if ever been taken a measure by the clergy.
All of those who contribute to shedding light on Jessica Reed's story. We really appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts, and we thank you. There's a lot to cover. I'm going to start out from the beginning. We are here because we want to talk about Jessica and talk about her story and the truth. So I want to start first with the DNA.
Hold on 1 second, ma'am. They're saying it's a sound issue. Can you hear me? They're saying it's a sound issue. I don't know if it was your son's audio, because we hear you clear now. I think it might have been your son's audio. So go ahead and continue, because I think. Anymore. Yeah. Okay. Well, your sound is good now, so just go ahead and continue. And when we come back in, I think he's going to fix his sound. So go ahead. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead and continue.
Okay. I want to start first with the DNA. I've heard a lot about people talking about the DNA had proved him innocent. DNA did not prove Charlamagne innocent. And I want to state some facts so that can be up, because that's all I hear, all over the place. Well, he's innocent. DNA proved him innocent. No, he is not innocent. And the DNA did not prove him innocent. There was no analysis performed. The tests were inconclusive. And I'm going to get a little bit and understand. I have a document here from South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, Forensic Services, Laboratory Report. This is the report that was done on my daughter and on him. She took a rape kit, the sexual. She was given that. It states here that blood, there was no analysis performed. Saliva, no analysis performed.
Now remember, when this broke the first time around, when Kwame Brown and everybody started, speaking. This is the resuscitation of the Jessica Reed story. Remember, they had outlets such as the Shade Room, and I get it, their outlet. They're going to report either which way they feel they can, pretty much get the trend of trajectory. But they did say, and people was reporting the story that, DNA evidence proves Charlamagne's innocence. The mother saying there was no DNA analysis.
On him, Charlamagne, Leonard Larry McCalvey, blood, no analysis performed. Saliva, no analysis performed. No analysis performed means that there were no detailed examination of anything complex in order to understand its nature or to determine its essential features. There was no study. There was no study on this. So that's why it's inconclusive. Because it was not leading to a firm conclusion, not ending doubt or dispute. So this is why the DNA did not prove his innocence. And I have the document right here. It's inconclusive. There was no analysis performed on any of the tests that were given. None of them.
Can you put that closer to the screen so people can see it a little better? Just kind of center it in the camera.
Sure.
And after that, we have the link that I'm about to give y'all
and
right now.
And if they want the document,
for y'all to watch it on Kwame Brown's live that he had. Also, Choke is live right now. Jessica is supposed to be on his show soon.
That's good.
So that's good. Really good. So y'all go over there and check it out as well.
I'm glad. Shouts out to them. No, go ahead. I think I'm just glad. I'm glad everything is getting back on, track. With everything. Sid, did you
have anything else to say?
Yeah, we can wrap it up here, to be honest with you.
The last thing I have to say is you tried to humiliate Monique, whether people agree with her or not. You have tried to humiliate so many people, both black males and females, on your on your rented platform. Is rented because iHeart owns it. And you have talked about people's cases. You really put yourself in an interesting situation here, Charlamagne, where the alternative media has every right to report what's going on with the Jessica Reed case and what's going on in your own backyard, because you have left yourself open to criticisms from all sides. You said you put something in some girl's drink. You joked about it. You talked about you watched child pornography with Andrew Schultz. You know, you've basically laid down the carpet for people to make sure justice is served. So that's all I have to say.
Yeah, it's been a little ant working, man. So good job. And again, for everybody that's crying, and all of the crybabies.
Pull up in a photo with 4 hoes in a 4-way. Right Bronco behind me. 4 toppers, no, it ain't OJ.
Look, that's all it is, folks. You know, he laid down this for himself. He's talked about it for 10. What is this? Breakfast Club started in 2010. It is 2021. So I believe that is an unprecedented, I would say, 10-year run. It's really about 8, but it's still, I would say, because of the spurts here and there that he was still mentioning things, that it's been about a 8 to 10-year run of him mentioning Jessica Reed, laughing about it, ridiculing, trolling her over and over and over and over and over and over and over. So again, folks, the power of what Charlamagne has brought into his existence, and Charlamagne's mouth is the reason for his own karma, but Charlamagne's actions is the reason for his own descent. So that's why he's over there in therapy 5 times a day, because nigga, you gonna need it, okay? So she press on with this case, you get it going. Y'all go over there and support the brother Choke No Joke. What's going on, Sid?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say also shout out to Choke on Instagram as well, and also on Jessica as well. You know, we chopped it up with Jessica a little bit as well, so our prayers goes to her.
Yeah, shouts out to you, Jessica Reed Queen. Keep doing your thing, keep tearing them up, keep fucking them up, fucking them up, fucking them up, and fuck them up some more. And actually, whether people, you know, feel all these folks' intentions, it don't matter. Charlamagne was a part of the ringleader culture. One of the greatest films of all time ever made was Jerry Springer's Ringleader. Go look it up. And if you can play that position when other people are getting put through the fire, when other people are falling off the trapeze, when other people miss the trampoline, when other people's bodies splat straight on the ground, and you can say, look, crowd, a dead body, let's laugh. Then player, bro, take all of these NFL bullets coming your way, dog. It is what it is. And nobody's after Charlamagne but his own consciousness. That's it. Thought Crimes, we out. Prince Solomon, sincere. Y'all take care. Peace.
Peace.
To this day. To this day.
Your back on me. Is that a challenge?
You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
White folks are nosy. They have specials. Nosy specials. Why does a bee make honey? You ain't a bee. Why do you give a fuck?